Hi everybody, Mrs. Blessley again with your photography class. The project you're going to work on this week is called a value scale. A lot of times people who are new to black and white photography don't understand how things are going to translate from color that we see with our eyes every day into a black and white photograph. So what we do is this value scale activity so that you can understand how things will look in black and white even though you see them in color. So we're going to start with this value scale here, and we're going to work from a threshold black, which means that we're going to color this as far black as we can get with our pencil. Just completely color this rectangle in, and you can see that it's not really black yet, but I have to just keep coloring until I get a threshold black, just as dark black as I can get with my pencil, as black as I can make it. Because in our photographs, what really gives us the punch and the pop to the picture is the contrast between the dark black and the white, and then all the shades of gray in between. So once I get this about, and see, I'm having to do several layers with my soft pencil here to get dark black. So then I'm going to squint my eyes a little bit, and this next one should be just a little bit lighter. Not quite as black as the first one was. But that's not quite dark enough. So I've got to work my way over to it being white. So I'm going to get just a shade lighter. You can kind of see that I'm coloring over in different directions and different layers. And when I squint my eyes, it should just be kind of a gradual change. There's nothing that says I can't adjust this as I go along. I don't think that's quite dark enough, but I'm going to do the next one and see how this is going to work out, because it has to get gradually lighter and lighter till I get to this last box, which I'm not going to color in at all. So gradually lighter and lighter, and coloring these boxes in. That's a little bit, this one needs to be a little darker, not quite as dark as that black, and this one could be darker, not quite as dark as the one before. So I'm going to work my way across this value scale, every one of these blocks lighter than the last one. And it's gradually going to change from this black to the white. So this is the first thing I'm going to do. Each one of the colors that's in our color spectrum is going to fit somewhere along this value scale, but we don't know where exactly. The second part of this exercise is to help us figure out, where does green fit on this value scale? Where does red fit? Where is orange? Where is yellow? Where's purple or blue or pink? How dark are they going to appear in a black and white photo, or are they going to appear quite light? We don't know until we do the next part. We've got to get this value scale made here. I'm working my way up. Now if I see these two, they're kind of the same, so this one has to be a little bit darker. But it can't be just dark as that. So I squint my eyes again, and these first three are pretty good. This one's not quite dark enough. And it's just gradually changing its way from black to white. I'm getting lighter here. Keep your eyes squinting so that you don't see real detail, but you see the changes in the values. And I'm working my way up. Okay, so I can adjust this some more, but I want to move on and show you what the next part is. So I've got threshold black, and I'm working my lighter gray until I get all the way up to the end, and I've got a bright white. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into magazines, and I'm going to find some photographs and cut them out into a rectangular format. Now you probably want to do something that's a close-up, like an object. I want you to do a landscape for sure, because you need to have land and sky. So I've got a landscape here. It doesn't matter that it has words on it, because I'm not going to do anything with those. There's some pelicans, it looks like. I like horses, so I'm going to choose this one. You can, 3 places, there's 3 of these blocks, and you're just going to glue down 3 photographs that you like. Something should be close up, something should be landscape, and another one of your choice. Look for things where you have a variety of colors and maybe a variety of values, because there should be 10 values at least. So you've got a block here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values from black to white. In photography, generally, it's 10 values, so it'd be 10% or 100% white, 10% black, 20% black, 30%, 40%, 50, 60, 70. It should be 100% black, but it would be a longer scale. Okay, so I've got this glued down. The next thing I would do is I'm going to take a piece of tracing paper. Now this, sometimes it's called vellum paper. This is actually parchment paper for baking because I don't have any tracing paper at home. And I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to tape it down over those pictures, which is kind of wild, right? I tape it down, and I'm not going to tape it completely. I want to be able to flap it back and forth as I work. So let's just see what we're going to do here. So if I look at this picture of this equestrian, this horseback rider here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around all of the objects, and here's her head, and I'm going to just trace around the places where I see the objects. There's a box here. There's another thing in the background. Here's her back of her head. And here's a value change. So every time there's a value change, I'm going to trace around that. Because the idea is that I am trying to change this color photo into a black and white photo. So I'm going to trace around everything here. Here's, looks like maybe her hands. Here's her horse's head. And I'm just looking through the paper, holding it down so I can see. There's a line over here. And I notice there's lines in here too, where there's value changes. Dark line here. So just take your pencil and trace around everything that you see in the photograph. There's her leg and her boot. And I can't quite see what's going on down here, but I'm going to give it my best guess. Saddle blanket. There's the horse's tail. Now with your tracing paper, you'll be able to see this better than I can with my parchment paper that I've got, but this is the best I could do here at home since I'm still stuck here with an ice pack on my leg. So you kind of get the idea here that we're going to trace everything out. And once we've done that, we're going to take our soft pencil. I'm going to have to flip this open to check and see what the horse's hoofs look like. Okay, here's the hoof. And flip it over again and see what does this hoof look like. Here's the hoof. So that helps you to kind of get your landmarks right. What's this hoof look like? Oh, it's tipped back this way. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to find the areas that are lights and darks and outline them. Where's her foot? Oh, here's her leg. Her leg is like this. And it's down something like this. Okay, so now the next thing to do is I'm going to start coloring in these values. And I want to match the values. So she's got a black jacket on here. And she's got black on her hair and her helmet. So I need to color this in with threshold black. She's got this black jacket. This is all going to be threshold black. Really, really dark, because that's the way it is in the photo. Down here in the saddle, threshold black. Even on her boot, getting to a threshold black. Now, behind her though is not as dark. You look at the photograph. See, this is a gray. Here we got the black here. So I'm going to have to make this a lighter, very lightly coloring it in with my pencil to get the value of that gray. Just check every once in a while and see if you got it right. Up here, I've got stripes. Some are dark, some are light. And some are light in between. And like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but you got to have the same idea going on so that you're translating this photograph from color to black and white. I'm making my pencil strokes go in the direction that the wood grain is, so it looks like it. I'm doing this relatively quickly. You need to work carefully though. Done it a few times before. Okay, we've got a change in value here. This part is really dark. This part up here is a lighter gray. I'm not going to put very much pressure on the pencil. You can see that I'm starting to change it to a black and white photo. Let me see if I can get a piece of white paper underneath it, and it will kind of show you that it's starting to change it from a color photo to a black and white photo. Let's take a look at the horse. The horse has got some changes in his color here, and I'm taking a look, and he's got, it's dark in here, it's very dark here, but not everywhere. It's dark under his chin. Oh, he's got a little bit of his teeth showing. Dark up here, and then he's a lighter value here. His ear is dark. Dark in the forelock. Here's his eye, dark. And it's lighter value. So as I continue to work on this, I'm going to get the horse in black and white. So here's his light here. And then he's darker under here. All of this is darker. Not as dark as her boot, but almost. So if I take the white paper underneath again, you can see that I'm starting to get the picture in black and white. So your mission for this week is to do this value study and to find 3 photographs that you're going to do the outlining and the coloring into the values. Make sure that you match them properly so that you really get a good idea what this is going to look like in black and white. So now I've got these grays, kind of a greenish gray, and I can look at my picture here and say, okay, greenish gray. Which one of these does it match? And really, it's going to match right there. If I've got this brown, I've got different browns, but tans and browns, and I've got to match my values. Then I'm going to look, my browns are probably going to be in here somewhere. But I'll find that out as I do more pictures. Here I got this cute little picture of the spider monkey. Once I do the spider monkey, I'll find out where do the greens go on this scale, where do the blues go, the red, where is that when it's translated to black and white? Where does that fit? So try to find pictures that have a variety of colors. I got a little bit too much blue and green here, not enough red and yellows and things, but find pictures that have a variety of colors, objects that are big enough that you can outline them easily. Take a look, keep flipping it back and forth. When I'm getting ready to do my landscape, I'm going to go like this and just, flip your paper back and forth, open it up, and find where the values change and outline everything. Every sky, every cloud, every change needs to be outlined, and you'll get your picture and translate it to black and white. Okay, have fun.